Hello and welcome. Not sure what's going on with RCN, but it just keeps on skyrocketing. I'm showing it crash, but I'm showing Theta versus RCN, and all bets, trades, and of the like within each his own risk and their own reward. And I wish I was trading this ratio, although I'm not. But that's because we've seen phenomenal gains in this coin. Now, when we look at something like this, trading ratios of coins together, we're looking at the daily time frame, basically from its outset. The whole point of trading all coins together, just whatever, is to get all of this type of sideways action and get your volatility as you have it. So then, when we look at this with less candles, when we see the move structure, 268 up to 4, and then down here to 2 and change, back up to 5, back down to 2. Oh, and if you got any of this, congratulations, and then all this here. At least from this area here, at 2 and change up to 8. And of course, for that one, November the 30th, that's a date I'm very familiar with, and anyone else holding Theta around that time or watching all of my videos would be. And then to have these types of moves in here that we see in February 2019. 850 to 5 to 7. I mean, this to this, just profit take. This low to this high, this low. But most importantly, though, within these coins, is when you have situations, and if you're playing the game, what you're going to notice playing is from here to here, the amount of Theta, if you look at your Theta RCN holdings at this point, and then you look at this point again, you are going to see, but the point, man, like this has got to go. You'll be thinking, I want this to go down in the sense of, I have so many of these RCN coins. And I don't have too many Theta. I mean, I've been just selling them like crazy down here. I mean, I was fortunate enough in here to be able to sell up here after buying down here, just so I could be able to sell a bit nicely in here. And then there was this nice sell and buy back here, and all of these plays in here on the way up. And this is what I talk about for what I want in trading. You got point A, big move, to point B, big move, or point A to point B that results in a big move. And within it, having situations like we see in here where you have those nice up and down markets. The volatility for the markets that come into play. Again, well, I don't know if I said it before, but a high of 4.5 to 3.2. So like 1.2 differential of like 30, 40, 50, well, 30, 40%. But like again, as I'm stating in here, you'd have all of those RCNs. Now, to have all these RCNs to be able to sell it down and be able to accumulate it, well, now what are you saying if that was the case before? It's like, oh my goodness, look at the Theta I own. Oh, look at the stack I got. It's just crazy. And you're hoping for the opposite. In situations like this, when the markets have this type of move, this is where if you were ratio trading and you just buy, trade, whatever, buy and sell, you did like 8, 9, 12 in a row. And you 6 all the way down to where we stand at 2. Well, in spots like this, you're basically averaging your cost. So maybe you got an average here of 3. So now you want to average it on your way back up. But in situations like this, when they happen, and this is just extreme when you see it looking like this, then you can get very greedy and try to get some phenomenal moves along the side. And a situation, if you say, are running out big time of, say, RCN here, the way I would like to perceive it is if you're able to get, you want to keep going. At least if you haven't sold out, which is something I would definitely consider at any time as a gamble play as well. And selling out means sell everything, and then if it goes up, you just buy it back. And a lot of times you're going to be right, even when you're wrong, you're right. Meaning, oh, I'm going to sell out now here, and then it goes down here, and it does something like this kind of deal. So even though you sold out here and it went lower, well, your trade backs here just work it well. So, it's not like in the game you have to be pretty much on or spot on, but anyway. So therefore, you can look, so you say you got to move up here. Maybe you make a small buy, and the reason why you do that is a couple reasons. One, start your average cost getting back in, but you want to make sure that you partition yourself for these big volatile swing backs, especially because they can happen really fast. And the second reason, of course, is if it does come up here, and this is a top, at least you'll have some selling power as it does this type of move on the way back. And then you sell here, and you sell, and don't maybe buy too much of a percentage, maybe, and then start, this way you can start increasing your higher buy amounts to the point where if you're buying this area, you don't buy that aggressive here and you buy super aggressive in here type strategies. That's one way of playing it. So let's finish this off by showing what RCN looks like against Bitcoin. And within the chart, there's that straight up move that started September 19th, and it's been a week and it's been large. If this thing should either be topping now, and the top's probably even in at that of 557, or it's going up much higher. And I'll explain why soon. But we can see what it's done is, well, markets go up faster than they go down. I think this was another example of such. And it's got a good percentage of its losses. I mean, this thing was like 900 down to like 1 up to 5. I mean, obviously volatility, but the log scale isn't the greatest. And well, if we look back further, we can see, well, it's been consolidating more in this range, and well, it was a lot higher before. Okay, well, it's gotten its ass kicked. So let me just change this to a proper log scale. Looks different. A lot more zeros here. And then, of course, the lines look as they should be. And I've already calculated Fibonacci from this high to this low. 23.6%. Comes in at 264 Satoshi, and it blew past that. Concise level to next point. And yeah, are we at 38.2%? Have we pierced above? Yes and yes. And it's 436. Well, as we can see, it's not really stopping going up, and it's even supported it from this level on the 25th timestamp. I'm going to shorten out the analysis to take a look clearly more at this Fibonacci. And the next level in which it's going to go to, if it breaks higher, will be 983, so over 1,000. Or 999 or 1,000 exactly would be really interesting, but whatever on that. Single hour, we can see how it's had a lot of playing around with this. It resisted this, good correctionary move, getting above, below it. This, I mean, it resisted this, of course, like this, so... Even though there was no resistance on this we've seen on the daily, well, on the hourly there was. And then it came in here. But as markets go, just because it looks like this, doesn't mean that it's going to that big 1,000 that's going to go way up here. It could. But that's one of the two things. So its next play in here is either that. I was going to say one of two things, but I already just said that. Concise move to this, usually fast, and boy, has it been fast already. Secondly, is it's topping and it's piercing extra above. Oh, how often does that happen? And then you see weakness in along this area, and that would be, no surprise, minimum come back down to this level in here. Thank you for tuning in, and like always, have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.